Okay, guys, welcome. Today I am going to be showing you how to build a step-by-step process on how you guys can build appointment follow-up system in make.com. Now, this follow-up system can be used in any other scenarios as well. For example, if you're closing on a sales call and you want to follow up with them, you can do that as well. Appointment booking for the dental clinics or wellness center or salons, car service, anything. It can be the same system can be reusable in every other industry that you want to use it. That is relevant, of course. So let me just walk you through the step-by-step process. So if you're new to Make, obviously, I guess you already know. I don't want to explain from the beginning that you need to sign in all of that. When you come to Make, just create a new scenario. When you create a new scenario, obviously, this the follow-up system that I'm building is the follow-up of my previous video. So in my previous video, I showed you the voice appointment booking agent for a wellness center. So like the calendar integration was in Google Calendar. So the appointment is booked on Google Calendar, and we want to call them 1 hour before the appointment, basically reminding them that their appointment is there and will they be attending the appointment or not. So basically for reminding them and also qualifying them in the same call. So it's that, and the phone call is done through WAPI. So in WAPI, I've already created the outbound agent. I'll just show you guys the prompt as well. It's the same thing. So let me just first get started with the scenario. So when you open a new scenario, always name this scenario. So it's going to be on Google Calendar, right? So in Google Calendar, there's an inbuilt module called something called Watch Events. So that basically is like whenever you create or book an appointment in Google Calendar, I'm basically watching that. So when I watch it, I'm just going to, it's going to trigger the rest of the workflow. So it's going to be watch events. So I'm going to be using a third-party software called Chronux for the scheduling this thing or reminders. So it's going to be watching events, convert date and time. So a little bit of basically some type of chat GPT convert something. Let's not add that. Okay, watch events, and let me just send it to Chronux API webbook. So that's that. So just click on this plus button, and let me just if you can't find Google Calendar, just type it. So when you type it, you will get the Google Calendar. Just click on that, and there's something called here. You can see watch events triggers when an event is created, updated, or deleted, and so on. So just click on that. So you should already have a connection. If you don't have, just click on this ad, and it's just signing in with your Gmail. So that's that. After that, the calendar is going to be the calendar that you have created with. Now, watch events, I'm just going to leave it by create a date, but you can choose any other thing also, like update date, starting or ending. I'm going to do with by create a date. After doing that, the query, I'm going to leave everything blank. The limit, I'm just going to set it to 1 because we want one event at a time, right? So we do not want multiple events. So one event at a time. So event type, select all. You can also do that I'm going to do it. So then just click on save. So now what it's basically, now you can also choose where to start. So from now on means like when I click on this save, so from now on it's going to start watching for events like created on Google Calendar. You can also choose like since specific date, so you can specify date, or all means like all the appointments from the start to the finish you can get, but we do not want that. I'm just going to be choosing manually also. You can choose, which is what I'm going to be doing right now. So let me first go and create an appointment in Google Calendar. So just go to Google Calendar and create an event. But when you're doing with the voice agent is going to book an appointment. From there is going to trigger. So it's just like different videos. I'm just shooting this. So let me just create a quick appointment over here. So it will be like test appointment. Don't mind the spelling. Then let's say the time is now 3:35. So let's say at 7 p.m. I booked an appointment at 7 p.m. So at 6 p.m. it should call me, basically reminding me that you have an appointment at 7 p.m. for this type of service. are you going to attend the event, so like that. So let me also add the description as well. So in the voice, in my previous video in the voice agent, when you book an appointment, you'll get this, and also I've added description as well. So in the description it will contain the name of the guy who booked the appointment, sorry, the name of the customer, then the email, then their phone number with their country code, obviously, because without the country code you cannot call. I'm just writing some random numbers, and also the service type. That's all. Service type, let's say this is for a dental clinic or a wellness center, I said. No? So for wellness center, let's say a full, I want to book an appointment for a full body massage. So that's the service type. Let me just click on save. When you click on save, just go to this make.com and let's refresh this again. Save. Let me just right click on this and you can see choose where to start. Choose manually, and you must see the appointment over here. But when you do it in production, just click on from now on. So that also. So this is the test appointment that I just created right now, and choose that. Click on save, and click on save here, and then click on run once. When you run once, you'll get all the details. Yeah, here you can see all the details over here. Now what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to put all of these details in a variable, so that I do not have to keep creating an event in Google Calendar and keep running this thing again and again. So it will save me a bit of time, and also it's more efficient. So that's why now I'm going to be using a set multiple variable state, which you can find in this tools section. Just click on these tools, scroll a bit down, and you can see set multiple variables. Here I'm going to be putting all the same details that I received from this Google Calendar to these variables. So click on add item. The variable name, let's say I want the start time. So that's the start time of the appointment. So that you'll get it over here. You can see start time is at 7 p.m. Just click on that. Or I'm writing it manually. So let's say the start time is at 7 p.m. So we'll say like that. Then start date. So the start date is July 14th. So that's today, or July 14th. Yeah. Then we're going to be adding the name, email, everything. The name is John. So let's say John. Then email will be, we're going to be adding the service type, the phone number, service type. So I said full body massage, and then the phone number, because we're going to be calling the customer, right? So we need their phone number. So I type some random numbers, then click on save, then click on save here once again. Then afterwards unlink this Google Calendar watch events. Bring the small circle over here bubble to this set variable. Click on save and then click on run once. Now you should see all the variables over here. You can see start time, started, everything. Now that's done. Now after this, we are going to be sending this into ChatGPT, basically telling the ChatGPT that take the customer's appointment start time, which is 7 p.m., and subtract 1 hour from this. So it should be 6 p.m. So at 6 p.m., it should call the customer. So that 6 p.m. will all be in UTC format. So that's why we are going to be using ChatGPT. So click on OpenAI. It's going to be create a completion prompt. Click on that. Remember, before you do use any of these models, you have to make a connection to this thing through an API key. So if you do not know how to do that, just watch more. So there's so many videos available already. So just watch through that. Okay, now we are going to be using ChatGPT. Create a connection. Choose a model. The model I'm going to be choosing is GPT-4o system, but you can also choose GPT-4o mini or any other. You can replace this ChatGPT with Claude, DeepSeek, or any other LLM models that you want. I just choose OpenAI because I don't know. It's just more easier. So the first message is going to be a system message. So the system message is just going to be you are a helpful, intelligent assistant. Then after the system message, we're going to be using a user message. In this user message, we're going to be telling it that you will receive the customers. So let me just type it out. So you will take input the customers appointment start time and date. Your job is to subtract subtract 1 hour from that time. The date time is already in UTC plus 5:30. So that UTC plus 5:30 is the time zone that I am currently in. So when if whatever time zone that you're currently in, that's what you're going to be writing here. So it's already in that. Do not add to that to the time, because it's important that you specify this, because I've done this multiple times, and if you do not specify this, it will keep adding time. So it will add like 5 hours 30 minutes if you do not specify. So that's why I specified it. And then afterwards it should be in ISO 8601 format without the time zone. So I said without the time zone because in Chronux it will only accept like for example it will only accept like when you type the date 07 and today is 14, and then it will only accept like let's say 400 000. It will only accept like in this format. It will not accept like when you do this plus after doing that, wait, zero this, sorry that, and then it will not accept like this. It will not accept this format. It will only accept the previous format that I mentioned. So that's what I'm telling the ChatGPT is just do not include. I want it in ISO 8601 format, but I do not want the time zone. So that's what I'm basically telling it this thing over there. So let me just go backspace over there. Then output put the date and time in the following JSON format. So just give you a JSON format. So it will be like scheduled let's say reminder time. Okay, I need to when you always remember that whenever you're starting with JSON, it should be in double quotes, and then semicolon. Then you'll be like your output goes here, something like that. And then in all caps, because we want to show the emphasis and importance of the message. That's why we use all caps. That's what I like to do. So I'll be like only output put the converted date and time that you will receive, and you will receive no explanation, no summary, just the output. So like that. And then if you want, you can also give an example as well. So example like input output example. So let's say input let's say this thing would July 14th 2020, July 14th, let's say 3 p.m. So that's the date and time that this thing output would be 2025 this thing 07 because we're in July, and it will be 14, and D it is at 3 p.m. so it is 1500. This like that. Yeah, so that's going to be the time, and also yeah, that's all. That's the entire this thing. And then we're going to add the message, another user message that giving it the current date and time, and also the actual customer's start date, start time, and start date. So here is the current date and time. So that is done basically by opening double curly brackets right now and close curly brackets. Then here is the customer appointment start time. So just give it from the variable. Then let me just copy this and just change to date. Here's the customer's appointment start date. So it's going to be done. And after doing that, you need to click on this show advanced settings, and in this response format, change it from text to JSON.object, and also you want to pass the JSON response. So just click on yes, and then click on save, then click on save over here one more time, and then just click on run once. So what was the appointment over here? It was at 7 p.m. So it should show 6 p.m. So let me just click on this, go on result, and you can see it is correct. It came at the It came out at 6 p.m. So that's going to be a prompt. Now after doing that, we are going to be sending that into Chronux. So Chronux, we are going to be doing that through HTTP module. I'll show you what Chronux looks like. So just click on make a request. I'm using Chronux, a third-party software, but where there are some there are multiple different ways as well. So you don't have to use Chronux. You can, if you do not want to use Chronux, then most of the people right now in this AI, they're all using Go High Level for all of this type of scheduling, follow-ups, appointment reminders. They all use Go High Level. If you have no coding experience like myself, use like third-party softwares like this one, because at the end of the day, the customers or the clients that you're selling, they only care about the output. So they do not care what type of automation you build. I mean, they do care. They like to have some type of insight, but it's going to be the output that really matters. So no matter what ways you're doing, if the output you're getting the exactly same as the others, then you're going to be fine. So let me just cancel this Google Calendar as well. So let me open Chronux. This is going to be Chronux. If you don't have an account, you create an account, because you're going to be needing the API key, which we're going to be doing it. So this Chronux is very affordable. So let me just show you. You can literally do this for free, like this just for free. If you want to you pay also, it's like very cheap, like $5. So that's pretty handy. Like it's only like 500 rupees if you convert that into my country currency. And if you want to change it also, you can still to get more of this thing, but you have to pay more. So it is very affordable. So that's why I do recommend using this Chronos. So just I'll click on login because I already have an account. Yeah, this the you can see I have a schedule because I was doing some test. So let me just delete that as well, so that you'll see exactly what you guys, so that I will see exactly what you guys will see. So when you're new to this, you'll see exactly like this. This is going to be your dashboard. Now first we're going to be going to this docs, because we're going to be referring to the API reference. Just click on API reference over here. Now yeah, in this we are going to be sending this date and time to Chronux. So we're basically going to be creating a schedule. So that's why we're going to be using this post method. So this is the URL. Just copy this URL, Command C or Control C, whatever you're doing, then just paste it over here. It's going to be a post method. The other headers you're going to be adding, because it's going to be content type and also authorization bearer. So just type content type. So that is application slash JSON. So slash JSON, and then another header for the authorization bearer, your API key. So let me just see here. You can see over here content type application JSON authorization bearer. That's that thing, your API key. So copy that, type it here, bearer. So you need to get the API key. So to do that, go back to this thing over here, your profile. So you can see in this thing API keys. Just click on that. Click on create a new key. After doing that, just type the name and you will create a new key. But I already have a API key, so I'm just going to be copying that. So let me just copy that. Here the bearer, just paste it over there. I'm going to be deleting this API key afterwards, just so we do not get any funny ideas. And then we're going to be sending body type raw in JSON content type, that is going to be application JSON. Just click on that. So in this API reference, I'll show you what and all that is required. You can see the request body over here. This is the request body, and it is like very huge, long. You might get confused or a little bit intimidated, but because it's going to be really simple. So just copy paste everything over there and just paste it over here. Now I'll tell you what and all that is not required. So you do not need group ID. It is not required. It is optional. So title is required. Remove all the commas. Yeah. So title is the required. Description is not required. So you can also delete that as well. So delete that. Then URL is required. Then time zone is required. So I'm right now in Asia/Kolkata. So you change it according to your time zone that you're currently in. Method is also required. The headers is not required. Payload is also not required. But we are going to be using payload because we are going to be sending the customer details, right? So we need to send that as well. So let me just cancel all of these headers. We're going to be sending only the payload. We need only the payload. The content type is required. Is recurring also required. Cron exception expression is also required. This run nut is also required. Then send cronooks object through send failure alert. Those all are required. So let me just delete all of this comment over here. Anything you see in this double slash over here, those are all comments. So those are all are not required. So what I don't know what I just did. Okay, I do not want this. Yeah, and also still till failure alert is you required everything. And anything else below that, you can just delete it because those are all not required. And also remove this comma over here at the end. So don't forget. Oh yeah. Now this is all the request body that you're sending. It's pretty simple right now. So that in this URL over here, you can see it's just a test URL, but we are going to be connecting the URL over here is the webbook URL that we are going to be creating. So make.com webbook URL. So in this payload, let's add all the customer details. So let me just erase all of this payload over here. Double quotes. We're going to be sending the name of the customer. So you can just you can go back to your variable where you've stored, click on name, and then again, it's all going to be JSON only. So we're going to be sending the email, click on email, then we're going to be sending service type, or let me my mistake, the service type. We're all just mapping from the variables. Then phone number, then the phone number is this, then the appointment start time and start date. Now I've done it here separately, but you can also combine appointment time and date in one single variable. But in my WAPI, I've done it two separately, so that's why I'm here done it two separately as well. So appointment date. So it's going to be this one, start date, and the appointment time. That's the startup. So that's all we're going to be sending. Let's change the title over here to appointment follow-up. Let's change the title. Appointment follow-up call. So that's all we're going to be doing, and then you can see come over, scroll down, and you can see this run out over here. In this variable, we're going to be adding the variable that ChatGPT just created. So just click on this reminder time. You'll get that. You got this reminder time because I formatted it to JSON, so that's why it's over there. If you do not get that, you need to pass the JSON object as well. So don't forget that. So that's that. Now the only thing that is left is this URL. So we need to add the URL. And don't forget in this HTTP request also you need to pass the response as well. So just click on yes as well. And then click on save. Now let me create another webbook, make.com webbook. Let me create another scenario where we're going to be adding the webbook URL, where we'll get the webbook URL. So what this one is. Okay, it's the WAPI. Okay, this also is the WAPI. Okay, request part. We'll create a webbook. We'll get the webbook URL. That's basically the URL. So what we are basically doing is in this watch events, we're getting the customer's details. We're subtracting 1 hour from the appointment start time, so that 1 hour before they'll get an outbound call, basically reminding that their appointment starts in 1 hour, they're actually attending, or if they have like any special requests that they need or something like that, you can do. So after collecting all of that, we're sending that into Chronos so that we can schedule it to run at a certain period of time that you want. So click on create new scenario again. When you click on the create new scenario, it's just loading for me slowly. But yeah, after it gets loaded, you can click on select webbooks, create a custom webbook. You're going to be adding a name if you want to add. Just give it a name, and then let me just turn off my charger. Yeah, click on add and just basically give it a name, something like appointment follow-up call, something like that. Then click on save. It will save it. We do not need it. Yeah, then copy address to clipboard and go back to watch events. Click on this HTTP module. Then go to the URL part over here and then just paste it. So that's your entire this thing. Let me check if everything is fine. Yeah, everything is fine. Save over here. Click on save. Now I'm going to run this and it should create a schedule in Chronos. So let me just click on run once again, everything. Yeah, here you can see it ran successfully. Everything ran over. Let me just go to Chronox over here. Let me go to schedules. You can't see, if you can't see anything, just refresh it. Yeah, here you can see it is scheduled for 6 p.m. because the appointment start time was at 7 p.m. Now it is scheduled at 6 p.m. So it's in 2 hours. And you can just click on this job button over here. It's basically the edit button, and you can also see the payload as well. The payload over here you can see. Now just click on save. Now what? Now this is going to be running in 2 hours. Now let's build out the second half of this follow-up system. Now this webbook, now this thing is now stored in, now this data you send from make.com to Chronox. So now the data is in Chronox. Now from Chronox we're sending back to this make.com to this webbook. So we are basically getting all the payload data that we send, like the name, appointment start time, the service type, their phone number, email. All those details is going to be sent to this webbook. Now from this webbook we are going to be connecting it to WAPI outbound call, and also we're also going to get the all the call details as well. So let's build that right now. So now we're going to be using another HTTP module. So click on HTTP, scroll down, and you can see something called as make a request. So click on that. Now if you want to get all the WAPI post URL, the body, everything, you just go to Google and type WAPI API documentation and go to API reference, and you can see something called as create a call. Create a call. So just click on that and you can just copy paste the entire thing. I already have it over here, so let me just go to this thing. So this is the post URL over here. Now let's, so you do not want that. So the post URL is this. Okay, it's not that. Oh my god. Okay, I guess it didn't get copied properly. So I guess I need to, let me just go to, I did not want to go there because this WAPI lags. Okay, now you just click on this HTTP. You can see this in URL. Just paste this HTTP as this post request that you'll get from the WAPI API documentation. So we're going to click on add headers. The headers is going to be the same thing. Content type, application slash JSON. Then it's going to be authorization slash bearer, your API token. So just go to this thing over here. So what were the headers? So authorization. I just want to copy it because I don't. Oh my! Not getting it. It's not getting copied properly. So copy this. Paste it over here. Yeah, authorization. Here slash your API key. The API key that I have over there. In WAPI, you'll get the API key. I'm pretty sure you guys watched my previous video on how you can get the API key. So just go over there and paste it over there. So that's what we're going to be sending, and the body type is going to be raw, and it's going to be JSON.application as well. Now the request content, I already have the body type over here. Now this everything, whatever you can see over here, you can find it in WAPI documentation only. So just go to WAPI documentation, like type like WAPI documentation HTTP custom variables. When you do that, just click on that, and the first you'll see a small pop-up message. Just copy paste that. That's what I'm doing here. So we're going to be sending the assistant ID, assistant overrides, that everything you're going to find in this API documentation. So variable value is that. So I'm just making it look a little bit more nicer. That's what I'm doing right now. Service type, appointment booking date and time is going to be that. The customer is going to be the phone number ID. Yeah. So that's all. Now we're just going to, what the only thing we're going to be changing is we're going to be mapping it. That's all. So the mapping we'll get from the webbook response. So first we need to run this webbook so that we get all the content and then map it. Now you already know, if you watched my previous video, you already know how to get assistant ID and phone number ID. And yeah, that's it. The phone number over here, I've just typed some random number. But when you do it, I'm going to be, right now this is a random number, but when I'm going to run it, I'm just going to this thing, write my actual number. We're going to pass the response as well. So click on that and then click on save, and just click on save over here. So let's first run this webbook over here. So now it is scheduled for to run in 2 hours. So let's just change the time. Now it's right now 4:10. So let's just if you want to run it right now, just click on over here, three dot it. First let's run this once. Click on run once. Now that this thing is running, just go over here, trigger this. Right now you can trigger this over here. When you trigger this, it comes here trigger successfully, and you can go over here. Here you can see all the payload, and also you can see the rest of the data as well. So just connect it to the HTTP module again. Click on the HTTP request. Then in this name, it's going to be name. Email is going to be email. The service type. So here, appointment booking. So this is just going to be appointment booking date, because I have two different variables for that, right? So here appointment date. Then we're going to add another this thing, appointment. And finally, we're going to be adding the phone number. So that's all you have to do in this post request to this thing, create a call. This is WAPI. Now when you do that, after doing that, so let me just rename this. So this is WAPI outbound. So let me just click on save over here once again. Then afterwards we're going to be adding some time, like a delay of 5 minutes or 3 minutes, something your choice. But I'm not going to be doing that right now because I don't want to wait 5 minutes. So when you make the call over here, it will ring over here. So let me just show you. So wait, so this thing, let me just unlink this. This thing is all over the place right now. Let me unlink this. Click on save. Click on run once again, so that let me trigger this again one more time. Go over here, trigger, and it should successfully, okay, it ran successfully. Now I should receive a call. Now you can see I'm receiving a call over here. So let me just answer it right now.
File account. You can remove this message at any time by upgrade.
Hello, this is Vikram calling from Oasis Wellness Center. Is this a good time to speak, John?
Yes, it is.
Okay, this will only take a couple of minutes. Basically, I am calling to remind you that your appointment starts in 1 hour, and I see you had booked it at July 14th, appointment booking time for a full body massage. Could you please confirm those details?
Yes, you are right.
Thank you, John. Also, is joan@example.com your email address?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. Will you be attending the appointment, John?
Yes,
we want to reduce our no-show.
Yes, I will be attending
Glad to
the
hear it, John. I
appointment.
guess that's pretty much it. We can't wait to see you at Oasis Wellness Center. Take care and bye. Goodbye.
Yes, bye. Bye. So it automatically ended the call as well. Now I know it was like a little bit rusty because it's all it didn't handle the interruption well. So it all depends upon the prompting, but I'm just showing you a quick demo. So now that's done. Now you can just remove this tool, this thing, sleep section, sleep module. I do not need this thing. So now the call you got the call. Now the call is ended. Now you want the call details and store it in your CRM, like the transcript, the summary, the recording URL. You also want the status, whether the customer picked up the call or not, something, all of that. So to do that, we're going to be using another HTTP request module. This is going to be a GET request. Now, when you make the outbound call, you will receive an ID. So that ID is we're going to be using that ID to get all the call details. So the URL, now you can see this ID over here. We're going to be using that ID as well, that same ID. So let me just, the URL is just going to be the same URL. So let me just go to this thing over here, copy this URL. The only difference is going to be, we're going to be adding ID to that. So click over here, API/call, another /, and we're going to be adding this ID over here. Map the ID. So that's all we're going to be doing. In this headers, we're just going to be doing authorization and our API key. So that's all we're going to be doing. So where can I find the this thing? Click on save. Okay, I need to first do that. So let me just go over here, copy this thing, then go back over here. Name is authorization. Header is going to be my API key. So let's just click on this. My API key is right over here. Copy this thing. So just click on this again, paste it over here. That's that. We're not going to be doing any body text because we're just going to be getting the details, call details. So don't have to do anything else. The only thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be passing the response. So click on yes. By default it will be on no. Just click on yes. It's on yes. Then click on save. Then okay, it's showing me some type of error over here. Maybe I didn't add something. Maybe the URL is no, it's correct. My thing is lagging right now, so let me just wait for a bit. Okay, hopefully this URL is right. I don't know if this URL is right or not. So just click over here. Okay, so it means the URL is wrong. No, I didn't put forward slash over here. I remember putting forward slash. Yeah, now it should work. Now let me just unlink this because I do not want to run everything over here, get the call. So unlink this. I already have. Let me just copy the ID in case it goes. So otherwise, then I need to run everything again once again. So let me just click on this data. When you click on this data, you'll receive this ID over here. So basically, you're going to be using this ID to get the call details. So let me just copy this, unlink this thing. Take this small bubble over here, put it into this module. Now this is going to be a trigger module. Click on save anyway, and click on run. I don't think so. It will run anyway. It will come an error, I guess. Yeah, because the URL must be wrong. So let me just go back over here. Oh no, I didn't reference it. I removed the rep. I unlinked the previous HTTP module now, so that's why it is shown that it didn't get referenced. So let me just paste the ID that I got from the previous model. Click on save. Click on over here. It should run now. Yeah, now it ran. Now you can see status code 200. Now just click on this data and you can see all the details. Now you can see over here that you can see the transcript. You can see what type of phone call it was. It was an outbound phone call. The transcript, the recording URL, the summary as well. Now you can also see the status is ended, the ended reason, assistant ended the call. So these are all the call details you get. So when you get all of these details, you can add it to your CRM like a Google Sheet or Airtable, anything you want. So that's the entire. You can also add email as well, like email confirmation as well or an SMS as well with this phone call only. So I hope you guys understood this took this step by step process of the appointment follow up system. So in my next video, I'm going to be showing you the step by step process of voice flow chatbot. Because when I did the video over there, everybody was at least two people commented saying that they want to see the step by step process. So that's what I'm going. That's going to be my next video. Until then,